Trump vows to cut off federal funding to Maine for refusing to comply with his No Men and Women's Sports order. President Trump announced that Maine will lose all federal funding unless it stops allowing trans athletes in women's sports. His executive order, signed on February 5th, instructs strict enforcement of Title IX, ensuring that only biological females compete in women's sports. Maine, California, and Minnesota have already said they won't comply, setting the stage for a major legal battle. Should states be forced to follow Trump's order?
We will not allow men to beat up, injure, and cheat our women and our girls. From now on, women's sports will be only for women. I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. Every state has a responsibility to comply with Title IX. They have an obligation, a legal obligation, and we'll be enforcing aggressively, and we're going to be protecting our citizens.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel where we discuss trending, informative and educational topics. Today we are going to react to a statement made by Trump on men's sports. It is indeed declared that any state that disobeys the rules he has set forth will not receive federal funding. This is a bold and controversial stance, and I have quite a bit to say about it. Let's break it down. First, let's take a step back and understand what Trump is saying. He is essentially asserting that compliance with his policies is a requirement for states to continue receiving federal funds. This raises a significant question about governance, federal authority, and state rights. Federal funding plays a crucial role in many aspects of state development, including education, infrastructure, healthcare, and sports. If a state were to be denied these funds, the consequences could be severe. But the question we need to ask is, should the federal government have this much control over state decisions? The United States operates under a federal system, meaning power is divided between state and federal governments. States have certain rights and authorities that allow them to make independent decisions. However, when federal funding is used to leverage to enforce compliance, it creates a power struggle. Is it fair for the federal government to withhold funding if states refuse to follow directives? On one hand, some may argue that this will ensure uniformity and adherence to national standards. On the other hand, it raises concerns about states being strong-armed into decisions that may not align with the interests or values of their residents. Now, let's address how this statement affects men's sport. Sports programs rely heavily on funding for scholarship facilities, training, and event organization. If a state is denied federal funding, this could lead to cuts in sports programs, affecting athletes, coaches, and even the entire community. Beyond finances, this raises ethical concerns. Should athletes suffer because their state refuses to comply with federal directives? Is it fair to penalize sports programs due to political disputes? These are important questions that need to be considered. Withholding federal funds can have serious ramifications. For example, we have economic strain. States rely on federal support for multiple programs. Cutting off funding can lead to financial difficulties, forcing their states to either comply or find alternative funding sources. We have legal battles. Such a move could lead to lawsuits, with states challenging the decision in court, leading to prolonged legal battles. There's public outrage. Citizens, athletes, and advocate groups may protest against what they see as federal overreach. Impact on athletics. Student athletics could lose opportunities, scholarships, and proper training facilities if their programs suffer from lack of funding. Here's my personal take. From my perspective, using federal funding as a tool to enforce policies can be problematic. But I understand the need for national standards. It is important to allow states the flexibility to take decisions that best serve their population. I also believe that sports should not be used as a battleground for political disputes. Athletes dedicate their lives to their craft, and they should not have to suffer because of policy disagreement at higher levels of government. Make America Great Again has become a rally cry for those who support Trump's strong arm tactics. Supporters argue that this approach ensures discipline and national integrity. However, opponents view it as an authoritarian overreach that disregards state autonomy. This phrase captures the tension between enforcing strict policies and respecting democratic governance. What do you think? Do you agree with Trump's stance? Or do you think it is an overreach of federal power? Should sports be affected by political decision? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the discussion respectful and insightful. If you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on trending topics. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged.